IELTS Speaking Questions and Answers Part 2. In this part of the test you are given a topic card by the examiner and you have to talk about it for 2 minutes. You will be given a pencil and paper and 1 minute to prepare your answer. Tips for Part 2. You should talk about the points that are on the card, but you will need to add an extra information, otherwise you will probably finish before the time is up. There is a lesson here to help you with this part of the test if you want some tips. Follow this link for further examples of topics for Part 2. Also, notice how it is well organized. The parts in bold show you how the speaker follows and addresses all the parts on the card in a clear and coherent way. It's not an issue though if you speak about things not related to the bullet points, as long as you are still talking about the broad topic. Describe a present or gift you have given someone.
The present was a picture that had been painted of the river Cam in Cambridge. It was not so big, maybe around 10 inches by 14 inches, but it was very beautiful. It came in a gold-plated frame and the picture had been drawn by a particularly well-known Cambridge artist. It had been signed by this person as well.
Explain why you decided to give this particular gift.
The reason why I decided to give this particular gift is because we had spent a lot of time together in Cambridge and we had had some really fun times punting on the River Cam. That's obviously why I thought this was an appropriate present. We used to go punting at least once a week, sometimes a couple of times. On one occasion there was a group of about 10 of us that went down there, and we spent the whole day sitting by the river in the sun, and as usual we went on a boat trip together. So my friend is the person that I gave a present to, and this was because I felt it would always remind him of the fun times that we had and also of Cambridge.
How it compared to other presents you have given.
It's the first time I have given this person a present, and I guess it's quite different from presents that I have given to other people before. I don't recall ever giving someone a picture actually. If I'm buying for family, then I'll usually buy clothes or maybe some jewelry if it is a special occasion. Normally when I've bought something for friends, it's something more jokey so we can have a laugh about it, nothing that serious.
Describe an old person that you know.
Okay, I'd like to tell you about an old person that I know. His name is John, and he is the owner of a small convenience store at the end of my street.
What your relationship is to this person.
My relationship with him is as a friend. I know him because I regularly go to the shop in order to buy things when I don't have time to go to a supermarket. He's quite friendly and I always have a chat with him. I've known him now for about 5 years since I've lived in the area. That's why I'd now call him a friend.
How often you see them.
I see him fairly regularly. Like I said, I go to the big supermarket out of town sometimes to stock up, but you always need odd things during the week such as milk or some snack or other. So when this happens, I just have a walk down to his shop. So I'd say I see him every 1 or 2 days.
What people think about this person.
I think John is pretty popular as he's been there for years as far as I'm aware, so most of the locals around the area know him. There will always be someone in the shop having a chat with him. They like him because he's not just the shopkeeper, but he's also very involved in activities in the community. For example, I know he helps out at the old people's home some nights, and he runs the quizzes at the local pub. He also helps to organize the fete that is held each year in the town.
Explain why you like them.
The reason that I like him is that he's great to have a chat with. For instance, a while back I was having problems with my work, and I was really feeling stressed. I didn't really have anyone to talk to at the time as my family is abroad and a couple of my good friends were not around. I mentioned it to John and he was great. He listened and also gave me some really good advice. He didn't need to do that, so it was great that he made the time to anyway. Generally, though, he's really welcoming when you go to his shop.
Describe a happy childhood event.
A happy childhood event that I remember, and that event was my 13th birthday.
When it happened.
It was 25 years ago now, because I'm 38. My birthday is on the May 7th. What happened was my parents surprised me on my birthday by telling me that they were going to take me to a theme park that is a few hours from our house. I'd never been before, it had only been open a few months, and they knew that I really wanted to go. As I recall, it was a Saturday that we went. They didn't tell me until the morning when I woke up that day.
Who was involved?
My whole family was involved in the event. I have a brother and a sister, so of course they came as well as my mom and dad. And not only that, we also picked up my grandparents on the way so they could join us. They were too old to go on the rides, but it was still a great trip out for them. The theme park was really amazing. There was a huge roller coaster, which I remember was really scary, but still excellent fun. One particular thing I remember is the ghost train. My younger sister was not allowed to go on the ride.
How you felt at the time?
I felt really dependent on what I was doing. Obviously, I was excited the whole day, but I remember that I felt really exhilarated when I was on the rides such as the roller coaster, and scared but still excited on the ghost train.
Explain why you remember this particular occasion.
I remember it so well is that I had been so desperate to go to the theme park, and I'd been talking to my friends at school for ages about how I wanted to go. So it was so great when I found out that I could. Also, I remember it so well because all of our family was together. My dad was pretty busy most of the time with his work, so we didn't always have much time to do things together when I was younger. So for these reasons, this was a really special occasion that I'll never forget.
Continue to next part.